Here we are in Mexico City. I'm going to do this in English. Let's put the cream first. It's, I don't know why I should be nervous. I'm just talking to myself, with myself. It's never an issue of what we do. It's always an issue of how we do what we do. That's why I have my props here. This is Lincot in Mexico City. We have a creamery called Lincot. And this is whipping cream. This is the first chapter of a documentary concerning Tantra. So it's important that we have a good coffee. This is called Punta de or Punta del?
Punta del Cielo.
Punta del Cielo. The highest point in heaven.
Esto no es prueba, ¿no? Ahorita vamos a probar.
No, this is the real thing.
Entonces, otra vez, ¿no? Para que yo ya no hable. ¿No importa?
No, está bien.
Okay.
Está bien.
That's right.
What we're going to attempt here with Chema. Why is it Chema instead of Chema?
José María.
Yeah, Chema is José María.
Ah, es un diminutivo de Chema. Che de José y Ma de María, Chema.
Okay. See, I speak Spanish well, but most of it I have no idea. So, this is the highest heaven coffee. You know, they grow it at 3,000–4,000 feet. Best coffee in the world, along with all the other best coffees in the world. Best cream, whipping cream. So, I've been waiting about 10 months for permission to do this, and I have no idea if we're going to put this up on YouTube. We'll see how it turns out. I have no idea about anything, really, which is, I'm a student of Tantra. I'm not even that. I'm in awe of possibly being a student of Tantra. I don't know how I got so lucky. And I know a few other people who study Tantra who also don't know how they got so lucky. So let us go then, you and I, when the horizon is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon the table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Do not ask, what is it? Come, let us go and make our visit. T.S. Eliot converted to Anglicism, that is to fellowship with Jesus, with Christ, when he was a grown-up, and he understood these things. He was a student of Tantra without knowing it. So, the frame here is, we're going to talk about Tantra, which is a non sequitur. You can't talk about Tantra because Tantra is the talking about. So there's no way that you can express Tantra because as you're expressing it, that's it. So while you're saying it, it's already too late. So I'm listening to myself talk. Basically, if this works, I probably, Charles will probably not be here. Something else will be speaking through me. Or not. as my son says, or not. I love that. Or not. So the frame, the main frame, the main excuse for what I'm doing is Tantra, and then the frame that is contained in is my intent and our intent, the people who are going to participate in this. We want to document how this is done, not the what, but the how. Like as I pour the cream, as I sip the coffee, all of that is the how. Instant, we say in time, from instant to instant. But in Tantra, there is no time. There's only now. But it's not the now that's in time. Time-bound now is a second before now and a second after now. When I say a second, that's a metaphor. It's a little bit before now and a little bit after now. Because nobody, once you find now, once now runs into you, and you have the experience of now, and you can no longer deny it, everything changes. If you don't believe me, try it. My friend Hector says it's the presence of the present. So there's no time in it. It's not even an edge, because as soon as now is, it disappears. And then you do a 180 turn, and you realize, you look everywhere, and all you see is now. There can't be anything else but now. And then you do another 180 back into time, and then you realize that now is invisible. In time, now is invisible. And then you go back outside of time, you do the 180 again, and you realize that no matter where you look, what you do, you look everywhere in mind. You can even look, you can remember that there was, in time, that there was a past and future. You can remember it. You can go anywhere in the past. What's the problem? Hey, let's try this. Do that again, please. In Tantra, what's the problem?
Nothing.
Nothing. Outside of time, when you're in the present, there's no mistakes. You see, Chema asked me, well, what is this about? And so we've been talking about that for the last 2 or 3 days with this amazing group of young Mexican men who understand this shit that took me years, that took me decades to understand, and they already understand it. They're, you know, 23, 24, 25 years old. They understand this shit already. Pisses me off. Can I use palabrotas in the internet? Is it okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to, but occasionally they they come out.
See?
I don't want to. Yeah. Okay. So in the present, there can't be any mistakes, because Chema could not have done that. Once it's done, you can't undo it. So it's not a mistake. It's just what is. So I've been waiting, as I mentioned, for permission to do this, and I finally got it. And I'm not even sure that it's permission, because, you know, I've been wanting to do this, to express this stuff. I don't have anyone to, well, I have one and a half people to talk to about this, which is my only passion. I mean, there are two wonderful things in the world: being intimate with a woman and Tantra. It just doesn't get any better than that. Not even killing people is better than that. And you know, we all want to kill people because we're so frustrated. You know, we think, well, if we could have a war to end all wars, if we could kill someone, and then we'd kill all the bad guys, and then things would be okay. Well, give me a break. I mean, we know that doesn't work. Cambodia, Rwanda, Yugoslavia, Hitler and his gang of Nazis. World War I, you know, 30, 40 million Europeans. World War II, 50 million Europeans. Give me a break. Yeah, that doesn't work. So murdering people doesn't work. But intimacy with a woman is extremely convincing. And women say that intimacy with guys is pretty convincing too. And Tantra is the best I've found. So, we're going to make attempt to make a documentary on how to do this. And the documentary is about Tantra. And Tantra and non-dualism, in my student understanding, is the same thing. So, first of all, there's no time. When I was 23 years old, I knew, I don't know how I knew, but I knew that I wanted to find out what time was. And so I studied it for decades. And I finally got to, I mean, I even studied clock time. But clock time was, I was not interested in that. I wanted to know where the past was and where the future was. Well, I found out, and I'm going to tell you right now. And it's no pretense, it's not arrogance on my part, I actually know. The past are images in our mind, because the mind creates images, that are partially accurate, and these images are charged with emotion, and that's what we call the past. And we actually think it exists in the past. That's the delusion that we live in. The truth is that they only exist in the present, in what we call our mind, or consciousness, or awareness, whatever you want to call that. That's happening right now. This something that's happening right now.